Okay.
All right, we're actually
Where are
recording.
you going with this, my
So
friend?
we can start with our opening song.
They don't know
and then
the
we'll take
opening
it.
song.
They'll learn it.
They'll learn it.
I'm learning.
Should we do the whole thing?
I don't remember anything but the chorus.
Nothing seems to cut it, no.
No, I don't
Nothing has
remember.
ever failed. No one seems to get it, no. How life is cut and killed. I'm looking, praying, hoping for an answer down the line. No answer shows, but someone comes to mind. There's room for more, won't stop before, can't rest or floor. This need in me to adore. My soul needs fire, my soul's desires to find someone to cut the pains and show what is in store. That thing divine with grace divine, that love of mine above this mind of people trying to say there is no answer, no divine. Though my eyes cannot see God's might and majesty, faith fills up this need, and my heart does believe. There it is. Part of the whole thing.
Excuse me.
He wrote that.
Nice.
Guys, what
Amazing.
day, what
Way
day
back
is
when.
it?
It is Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. No,
No.
it's Saturday.
As done corrected.
What?
It's actually Saturday.
Saturday. What? It's always Saturday when we're on here.
Guys, we have so many guests today.
It's on.
Crazy awesome.
Crazy. Well, this, my friends, this is Kristen.
Hi.
She's been on here before, but she's 18 now. So
Officially
it's
18.
legal.
I am.
And I've known her forever.
We
Yeah.
would sing happy birthday to you, but we don't sing. It's not our thing.
No, definitely not our thing.
I've never sang a day in my life.
You don't want to
Nope.
hear me sing.
Confessions are.
Wow.
Reverend Mr. Father, I have greatly sinned.
And we have another guest that was literally here in the last video, but decided to come back.
Who?
Papa Jojo.
Papa Jojo.
Hi.
Hi, Papa Jojo. How many masses did you have today?
I had 3.
Are you okay?
I'm doing well.
Do you feel super Jesus-fied?
No, I feel like I want to go sleep.
Which one was the best one?
Oh, wow. Well, no, I know the answer to that. I really enjoyed getting to celebrate Our Lady of the Rosary today.
Oh,
Yes. So, feast day of Our Lady. Well, technically now it's the 27th Sunday because we're into Sunday now. But this morning and up till 4:30, it was Our Lady of the Rosary, Our Lady of the Victory. Awesome.
so that would have been the morning mass
Yes.
today.
Yeah. So I had
Wait, where'd you do it?
St. Al's.
Oh, St. Al's.
Cheektowaga.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Very nice.
I was at 3 of my 6 parishes today.
Oh, wow.
Whoa!
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it. So you had a morning 8 o'clock mass?
I had a morning 8:30 a.m. mass. Then I had a 2 o'clock wedding, and then I had confessions and normal vigil on Saturday.
Not busy at all.
No.
No. Ryan, who are you?
Wait, we can't. Wait. No. We have to talk at least a little bit about the feast, right?
That's true. That's true. We do love Mary.
I'm gonna try to give the most brief synopsis I can, and then if you want to fill in any cool details, because there's so many cool details,
Oh, yeah.
feel free, Father Joe.
Awesome.
So, Our Lady of the Rosary, Battle of Lepanto. I don't remember which year. Long time ago.
It was instituted by Pius V in 1571.
Wow. Okay, that was great. Do you have like a?
I read the order this morning.
I was gonna say, do you have a Google chip or something right now? SpaceX. Anyway, the Turks were about to invade Europe in a very, very serious manner. So Don Juan of Austria actually rose up to the Pope's call. He was a prince of, I forget which country, but he brought an army to defend against an armada of the Turks. And so what actually happened was all the odds were stacked. So just imagine these, what do you call those ships? Galleys?
Yes.
The galleys?
Is they rower thingies or no?
Yeah, they have the rower
Yeah.
thingies. And they had a whole bunch of slaves like to man the rowing things. And so like the Turks had a whole bunch of like people that they had conquered there. Actually lots of ex-Christians, or like, well, I guess Christians that they had conquered down there. Lots of the odds were stacked against them, including the wind. So actually formations-wise, so like the Catholic Armada under Don Juan of Austria, they actually kind of set up like this formation of a cross with their ships. And then literally the Turks actually had this formation of like a crescent. But then also the Pope asked all of the whole Europe to pray for, I don't know, Mary's intercession. At the very least, and I think specifically the rosary.
Pray the rosary. Yeah.
Pray the rosary, literally. And what actually happened over the course of that war was the wind changed. And then all of a sudden, so many people in the Catholic ships that were rowing were all of a sudden able to start fighting. And so as the battle turned out, Europe was literally saved because it was literally going to be run over by Turks. Europe has this incredible history of Muslims, like especially if you look to France towards like if you think of the Lourdes apparitions with Saint Bernadette, that whole Lourdes, that place is named after some of the Muslims that had been there previously. So lots of back and forth. Anyway, that's all I've got. Anything you want to add?
No, and so we call it today Our Lady of the Rosary, but historically it's also been called Our Lady of Victory, and that means for us here in Western New York, we have our Basilica of Our Lady of Victory and the National Shrine there, which is absolutely stunningly beautiful, and we've got our venerable Father Nelson Baker, who built that church in honor of Our Lady under this title, and so it's their feast day, and it's a very special feast day for us, and for us also as we continue our prayers and hope one day that Father Baker will be canonized and we can have a saint from Western New York. It would be awesome.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. So special day, beautiful day, wonderful day.
Beautiful
Pray the
church,
rosary
too.
every day.
Right.
Do it.
Do it.
Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna be honest. I don't as often as I wish I could.
I try to put rosaries on every single door in my house.
Love that.
Rosary check.
Why?
Oh, you don't.
Is that superstitious?
Do it. Rosary check. Rosary check.
I don't have
Mine's
one
a-
on me.
Who's got it? Oh,
I have 10 fingers.
I
Believe it or
have
not.
10 fingers.
I literally have 10 fingers.
Mine's
Not
in
nine.
my mine's in my bag over there.
Why do I put rosaries in all my doors?
Yeah. In?
On, like on the
Inside
handles.
the door.
Okay.
So the reason why I do that is it's actually a spiritual warfare thing
Okay.
Nice.
to protect myself from things.
Nice.
Sword of the Spirit. Well, it's not the Sword of the Spirit. That's the word.
I see.
But
You're actually taking that literally.
Yes.
Okay.
So you don't see them on the doors right now because I'm currently packing, but
totally things. Does everyone know that you're moving?
yes, now everyone knows I'm moving. It's been
Yeah.
announced to the literal staff. It's like very out there that I'm moving.
Cool.
I put a little short in our channel saying, "Hi, we haven't existed because things
Yeah.
are insane and I'm moving. Say hello to all my boxes."
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting saying that we're
Boxes.
recording this podcast right now at Nicole's house, but is it Nicole's house for very much longer? Questionable.
I will be only living here for 2 more days.
Countdown. Can count in hours.
Nice.
Yeah, I am moving to actually a rectory. An empty rectory.
An empty oratory rectory.
There it is.
Caretaker youth minister Nicole
Extreme.
Janicek.
Let's
Nice.
go.
We love that.
It actually happens more often than people think.
Yeah.
So a lot of times,
When's the last time you did this?
not me personally. I have never done this. I haven't moved actually in 8 years. So I've been living here for 8 years. But it is actually currently the state of like how our diocese is there's a lot of empty rectories that just exist. And a lot of times youth ministers specifically get moved into rectories
Right.
because a joy of being single, #vocations, woo, is
Or like
that
director of evangelization sometimes do it.
sometimes, yeah. It just depends on like their
DREs,
position.
right?
Yep, and what they're doing.
Maintenance guys too. We got maintenance guys who live in empty rectories.
It really just depends on like the vocation of your life. Like obviously rectories can't be like family homes. They can't really do that. I mean they can, but they can't
Yes,
at the same
that's
time.
true.
So as like a single person, it works super well. Yeah. So fun fact of the day.
Cool.
Yeah,
I got nothing.
it's out there. I mean, it's people know that I'm moving.
Yeah.
Nah,
It's a cool place.
It
it was a cool place.
it's a cool.
That was a
place.
great place to eat brunch.
Yes, it was.
Thanks, Father Joe.
Yeah, you're
Thanks,
welcome.
Papa Jojo.
We threw an awesome 30th birthday party for Nicole, and how did we phrase it?
You've made a very long title for it.
I did. It was the trifecta extravaganza for
No.
Nicole Janicek or something like that.
Something for her 30th
Yeah.
birthday.
Yeah.
Which is you.
That's me. Yes, I'm 30 now, everyone. I'm officially the oldest one in the room.
Yeah.
Wow. Sorry. I gotta bleep that out. I keep doing things that are gonna make me lose my head. I don't know when Nicole's gonna lose her patience.
I'm literally gonna roundhouse kick you in the head. And it's gonna fly off.
Just do it quickly.
So like, actually, I showed them. Wait.
Do you think you could roundhouse kick him, missing all the mics, and just like,
Yeah, preserve
then-
those mics,
yeah.
honestly.
Potentially.
I'll take care of
I
that.
thought you were
impressive.
gonna ask if I could like put something on his head and like kick it off.
Guys,
Oh.
I need at least a day to write the will, okay?
Okay.
Got a lot of stuff.
Remember,
Just give it to Ryan.
funeral planning beforehand.
I guess if it's not for someone else.
Well,
then
this
sure.
is the perfect time to talk about, I don't know.
Vocation?
Yeah.
Vocations. Just give
The
all,
ultimate call.
That's a segue.
Just give all your stuff to Ryan.
It's a very well-rounded conversation.
If you want to have a quick little
roundhouse
will,
kick.
a quick
Oh
little.
my gosh.
Will
Actually,
talk.
wait.
We got
Before
it.
we move on to vocations,
Yeah.
it was very funny because I showed Michael and Ryan my current situation in my office as
Yep.
all my boxes.
Yep.
And the first thing I show Michael, look, I have an axe. And he's
true.
like,
I didn't think twice, but then I thought twice.
Yeah.
That's what I did. She did this to me a couple days ago. I was here a couple days ago for a meeting, and she was like, "Look, I have an axe." I'm like, "Nicole, like,
Don't
what?"
worry, it's okay. She knows
Technically,
how to
it's
use it. What am I supposed to say?
hatchet?
It's scary.
Technically, it's a hatchet, and
Okay.
it's
Okay.
kind
Well-
of broken.
She said
Right.
axe.
I think I'm the one that broke it at the axe
Yes,
throwing
you did.
place.
The fact that she
Oh, is
broke,
that what it's for?
Yes. So
Okay, that makes more sense.
in one of the birthday extravaganza days was axe throwing. See, this is a full round circle.
Hatchets and hops here in Buffalo.
Was axe throwing. By the way, I am the axe throwing champion.
I wasn't there.
Wow.
Is that a challenge?
No, and I was just like, I don't know.
Where's your pin?
I have it packed and ready to go.
Where's your pin?
It's packed and ready. But I was the champion. Okay, I crushed everybody. It was great. And because I threw that axe real hard,
One hand or two hands? Didn't you go to one hand later?
Yeah, I did too. But then I started doing one, and I was like, wow, this is kind of. I'm good at this. I broke it, and they gave it to me.
Nice.
It is kind of actually.
Oh, wow.
broken.
That's kind of cool.
Nice.
So
Fun,
vocations.
fun fact.
What?
That's just a fun fact.
It is
Some
fun
people are
fact.
called to be lumberjacks.
Some people are called to be lumberjacks and a priest.
And they gotta
Father
own it.
Joe.
You got to own an oxen.
He was literally over here chopping a tree down one day.
That's what I.
Wow.
Yeah.
You still got to play a saw someday. I still
yeah.
have never seen that done.
Oh, it's cool.
You've done it before?
I have done it before.
I've seen it before.
Opera House.
And then one of those like dwing, dwing, dwing things.
Yes, yes.
What? Say that again.
I don't know. Replay.
Boing, boing,
okay.
boing.
Yeah, you put them in. You go. Bing, bing, bing. I know,
exactly.
yes,
That buzzes on your
It's a
teeth.
finger harp, isn't it?
Finger harp, yeah.
but it hurts.
Mouth harp.
If you
Mouth
do it,
harp, yeah.
if you do it wrong, you can chip a tooth.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
For real.
you gotta be
You
careful.
know what blew my mind?
What did?
So again, during my birthday craziness, I went to Opera House.
Oh, yeah, I was
first time like experiencing the whole thing.
I went there last Sunday.
Wild. And they got up there and they played these giant horns and I was like,
Yeah, yeah. They had a
Who's they?
German or Austrian
Musicians, yeah.
they have a
Alps
band.
horns.
Oh.
Yeah, and they were yodeling and then horning.
Then they played the saw and then they played multiple animal bells.
What was that?
Animal bells.
Animal bells. That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Are you saying like they played the cowbell? But
Yes. No, they had a cowbell, a sheep bell, a goat bell, and then they were like, and then they like played a song, and it was beautiful. I literally sat there like,
It sounds so dumb.
No. I can envision this because I was there on a Saturday and I heard the band before.
it's not dumb. It was beautiful. Kristen, how do you feel about that?
I'm a little confused, I'm not gonna lie, but you know what? Sounds great.
Let's go, Kristen. Yeah.
I mean, are you really ever quite sure about what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, cool.
Let's talk about something you're sure about, Kristen.
I'm not sure about a whole lot of anything. I know that Jesus is cool.
Nice.
Nice, man.
Solid.
Solid. Oh my gosh.
We love that.
That was
All
awesome.
right, how do you know all of us?
Jesus.
What is,
Oh,
what
okay.
how do you fit
Cool
into
guy.
the puzzle?
Cool guy.
What did I say he was at the retreat?
What?
Cool man dude.
Cool man dude.
Oh yes, cool God man dude.
Listen, that's
Cool
not
God man dude.
that's
Yeah.
not theologically correct.
But it works
Well,
for the fifth
no.
grade graders.
So he's cool. He's God. He's a man. And, I mean, by today's standards, he's a dude.
Talking about Jesus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
Just
it.
normally
So-
you don't put all those in the same phrase.
So how it goes
Let's
is
rewrite the creed here.
cool man, dude.
I believe in cool God man, dude.
In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. In the name of the Father, God, man, dude.
Okay, I'm sorry. So
man.
context about
It'd
why.
be like the contemporary translation
Oh man.
It's the
gosh.
put together by Nicole.
definitely not from definitely not from
You never thought that these words would stick, did you?
No, I did. Listen,
it's not the Dewey Reams
I
translation.
gotta do a little context here. So
Please.
I do middle school all the time, every day of my life. I feel
Is
like.
that the brick retreat?
Yes.
Yes.
So I was running a retreat, like a spring retreat, like what I do, the spring retreats.
Yes,
you do.
yes.
And we were talking about, it was called the brick retreat. And we were talking about how Christ needs to be the firm foundation of our lives. And I started the retreat by just getting really into it. And I was like, yo, guys, this Jesus guy, he's a cool God-man dude. And they all were like, yeah! And the volunteers were like, what was just said?
The Vivaldis?
Core members?
Okay.
Wait,
That was
did you
really
just
cool.
call them
No.
Vivaldis?
She did.
That's kind of cool.
Fathers!
All right, keep going.
Am I okay?
I don't know.
Because I keep saying the wrong... Okay, sorry.
Can you check your pulse?
No, I don't know. how
Check
to-
your
Yeah,
your
right
neck in the
there.
back. It's
I
like
don't
it's
feel a pulse.
okay. Yeah. Well.
Am I alive?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. So, Kristen, back to you.
Hi.
How do you fit into this puzzle of things?
Okay, so I guess I'm just supposed to explain how I know everybody here?
Yeah. Sure.
You know what? Why not?
Okay.
Or how it got you here?
Okay. Well, I guess I'll just go down the line. Michael was...
I'm first.
Yeah, you are.
Go.
Keep going.
So, Michael was the music minister when I was a freshman in high school through the summer before my senior year. And I did music with him through the youth band, and then also I was one of the cantors with him, and yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
And then Nicole. Nicole was, as Nicole has mentioned, she has done middle school a lot, and she was long time. She was my middle school youth minister when I was in 6th grade all the way through 8th grade, and then she is also my confirmation sponsor.
Solid.
She stuck with me for the rest of her life.
You're stuck with Kristen.
Forever
Oh.
and ever. And
I always
ever.
just
Whoa.
roundhouse kick.
You Redo's kicking for me?
Sure.
Yay!
My foot's a little sore today, so you're safe. You, Ryan.
Okay,
Only
Ryan.
because the foot's
Yes.
And then I know Ryan from Fiat, doing music for Fiat.
Boom.
And yeah. And then Father Joe was the
Say it.
what? Oh yes, Sem Jojo. When he was on his pastoral year at St. Greg's, I was a freshman in high school, and then when he was ordained a priest, he came back to St. Greg's, and I was a senior in high school. So cool, first full circle thing.
And then I got moved.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that was all in high school. That's,
Yeah.
Now you're beyond high school.
Yes.
What are you doing now?
So I am. Okay. So technically, I'm a sophomore by credits, but I just started full-time college with Franciscan University Online, majoring in theology.
Nice.
Yeah.
Noise.
Let's go. We're kind of doing the same schooling. I'm just master's level.
Yeah, pretty much.
We've like done the same assignments. It's weird.
We have.
Yeah.
Smart minds here.
Think alike.
Woohoo.
I've taught her well.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing college
Yep.
now. And you're doing online college.
Yes.
And you are working at St. Greg's. Mm-hmm. You are a family faith. I don't even know what you are technically, a family faith.
So my job title is program assistant. That's pretty much whenever someone needs help, I help them. Whether it's with technology, getting supplies. I've done music a couple of times there. It's been great.
Solid. So she's basically the catch-all of family faith.
Yeah.
Nice.
She's
Nice.
also a middle school corps member
I am.
in high school
Yep.
and lives at St. Greg's.
I kind of do. Not actually, but sometimes I feel like I do.
Are you sure you don't live there?
Can I just move in?
I can't make that call.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I got a futon.
Sounds good. That might be all I need some days.
Futons are like a total college relaxation.
Listen.
I tried to buy one at Target. You can't buy it there. You can't go to Raymond or Flanagan. You can't get it there.
Walmart.
Oh.
I think that's where I got it.
See, when you say Walmart,
Walmart.
futon is what I think of when I think of Walmart.
Right. Me too.
Bro,
But
it's,
you got to go to the right Walmart because with the
Yes.
colleges around here,
Oh,
certain
yeah.
times
It's
they
don't
are
go
down.
to this Walmart. You got to go to the one near you where there's no
I hate
colleges.
going to these Walmarts like in
talking
college
about-
season. It's like a war
The
zone.
Sheridan Walmart?
Yeah, don't.
The one that looks like a Pentagon?
Yes. You got to go to one that's not near any college students because they won't
Do you
eat.
just say one that looks like the Pentagon?
Yeah, it has like pillars.
Ryan,
right,
a
I'm
lot
thinking-
of buildings have pillars.
Let's
Well,
actually
that's super specific pillars.
let's actually reverse this. So
looks like a
Kristen,
baldacchino.
Kristen got to let us know how she got to know us, and that was extremely edifying, especially being first. But now let's flip it. Let's go the other way around. So I'll start. Yeah, Kristen was part of youth ministry, and then music ministry specifically, where I got to know Kristen, and she plays the flute really,
I
really
totally
well.
forgot to mention that.
Yeah, you did not mention that. That is big.
Wow.
And then you also sing, obviously, which if you watch the music video, which probably is released just before this podcast, you'll get to hear her sing too, which is really great. Beautiful voice. And sharing God's gift that she got it. I'll let that thought transfer.
We're doing great.
This is a wild podcast.
Yeah.
Woo!
Are you good?
Yes.
Are you,
I've lost all thoughts.
do you want me to go?
Yeah, you can go now.
Man, I'm just kind of here for the ride today.
So-
Literally, because he drove me.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. I met Kristen back when she was a 6th grader at youth group as the youth minister. I probably met her first actually in the school on campus, and it usually what happens is it's me yelling about something, running somewhere, saying welcome to Edge, yelling.
Yeah.
That's usually how it goes, and then life. And now I just all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Boom skillet.
Woohoo.
Use!
Use? Okay. So, as I said before, I've participated in young adult youth ministry at St. Craig's. I went to a retreat, and I ended up meeting Michael there. It was like a Brave 3? 2? I can't always remember. 2?
Two.
Yeah, it was 2. So, I ended up meeting Michael there, and then it ended up flourishing from there, and then I joined the Fiat team that he wanted to start. So then, as we all said, so I met all the people in the music ministry, basically. So I met Michael first, then I met Nicole, because she's youth minister, then Kristen filtered in, and yeah, and then Father Joe came along because of his ministry.
There he is.
Yeah.
Your turn. How do you know this one?
How do I know Kristen? Well, kind of the opposite of how she said she knows me.
Yeah.
I was a seminarian who was on my pastoral year at St. Greg's back 2019 to 2020, and then was reassigned to St. Greg's as a priest for my first year in ministry. And
I would love you to tell the story of how you became Sem Jojo.
Yes.
I'm going to let you tell it because I don't want to upset you by not telling the story well.
No, I want to know from your perspective. I mean, it was my fault.
100% your fault.
So, Nicole, one day at St. Greg's, I don't remember which day it was.
You never know which day it is when I walk through the halls.
And all of a sudden, she just was trying to like come up with a name for me. It's like, what do I call you? And, which is kind of the thing. If people, what do I call you? And I'm like, well, you call me Joe. You know, like for sometimes in the school, it's like Mr. Joe, Mr. Tokaz. And it's like, no, but you're a seminarian, but you're not a deacon, you're not a priest. So what? Sem Jojo. And this became a thing in youth ministry. And so it's like, okay, so I'm like, okay, only when I'm at youth ministry and Nicole's around, and then it spread throughout youth ministry with Sem Jojo. And then next thing I know, I'm like walking through the school at St. Greg's, and I was like, hi, Sem Jojo. Of course, like, there's youth ministry kids, and the teacher's like, who are you talking about? And then it just spread.
Yep.
Like wildfire.
Yeah. And then,
COVID-19.
so then I became, down the road, you know, this evolved into Deek Jojo.
Yes, Deek Jojo.
And then it became...
Wait, Deek Jojo didn't last very long, though. You only were a Deek for like a year. But still.
It just sounds so weird.
You were only a Deek. No, and then we were, of course, you know, because I'm getting ordained a priest, it became, so do I call you Fafa? Or, and then it became Papa Jojo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came about.
The legacy continues.
Fafa.
Yeah.
So, Father Joe.
Yes.
Do you remember at, what was it? It was the Diocesan Youth Convention.
Mm-hmm.
Classic.
Chaperoning. Oh, yeah.
So,
Woo!
so context is a group of us from St. Greg's went to the youth convention, and Father Joe was one of the chaperones, and he was also there.
He was in charge.
I was in
Because
charge.
remember,
That's right.
we
yeah.
didn't have a high school youth minister.
Yes.
So
I was filling in as a high school youth.
Sem
Right.
Jojo and Father Paul were a youth minister in one.
Yeah, I was a little confused because Adam was there as well. So
I know.
yeah, but
But I was the one who actually stayed overnight and
Yep.
was kind of in charge. And I was also in charge of the chapel and Jesus in the Eucharist.
Yeah.
And,
so then you were there as
Cool
a
man, dude.
cool God man dude.
Cool Godman, dude.
No,
So when,
that's one person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
that's true.
you were there as a seminarian and everyone was thanking everyone, and
It's
then
true,
the MC was like, and we thank Seminarian Joe, so that we yell, yes, Sem Jojo!
and the look on the bishop's face was fantastic.
Wait, you should talk about the day you got ordained.
Gosh. So, wow, we're really covering all the.
Oh, yeah, we are.
So, of course, you get ordained, and people come from the different parishes that you've had summer assignments at, and pastoral year at, and people you from all over the place. And so, my classmate and I found out officially where we were going, our assignments, and I really had no idea going. I was like, I don't know. I'm 10 months before I'm ordained, and I'm gonna find out. And so I went in and talked with the bishop and the rector of our cathedral. And he goes, and we're going to be assigned as a parochial vicar for 3 years at St. Gregory the Great. And I was like, that's awesome. I'm so excited. But trying to keep it like calm with the bishop. And, there's a big smile on my face. And in my head, I'm like, should I warn him? Because there's a lot of people from St. Greg's out there. And I was kind of like, no, I don't think I'm going to. And I think it's just ruined this beautiful, wonderful moment where I was just sitting with my bishop on my first assignment right before I get ordained. So we come to I have been ordained now. I'm now Father Joe.
No, Papa Jojo.
Well,
All of the above. Both and so we get to the end of Mass and we do the announcement. And so my classmate is Father Joe Franz. Another cool part of this, it was 2 Joes ordained during the year of St. Joseph in a diocese whose patron saint is St. Joseph in St. Joe's Cathedral. It was awesome.
A lot of Joes.
Yeah, a lot of Joes.
Why are there so many Joes that are priests?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I do know. I mean, Joe is a common name. Joseph is a common name.
It's not wrong.
And, I mean, Joseph, he's awesome.
He's
Yeah.
okay.
no, he's pretty sweet.
She's wrong.
Yes.
She probably is.
More than okay.
Roundhouse
Exactly.
kick?
Moving on.
For you, do it to yourself. Roundhouse kick yourself.
Anyway, so we get to the end of the Mass, and the bishop announcing, and he announces that my classmate is going back for a further year study because he's quite a bit older than I am, and so he had already gone back to school once and just kind of want to finish up his studies. And then he goes, and Father Joe Tokaz will be assigned to St. Gregory the Great.
Literally.
Yeah, and literally, I mean, there were only like 2 pews of St. Greg's
Wow.
people, and the look on the
Yeah.
bishop's face was just.
No, he almost had a heart attack. Like literally, he jumped. Like it was like it's like shock, like
And it was
heart
just
attack.
everyone screaming, and even I was like, "Whoa!" And I expected like celebrate, but whoa! And, and then I'm just kind of like,
It's great. I mean, you only get ordained once in a lifetime. I mean, like you got to do it
And
right.
it's a great moment. And the thing was that I could hear Nicole's voice over everyone else.
I wish you remembered my voice.
And then just below her voice was Tom Ahern, who's a parishioner from our parish. And it was just like, and they're both got huge voices.
Moral of the story: I'll shout louder.
Sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
And the funny thing was, like, I could have gone louder. Because I held it back a little bit. Because I
wow,
was like,
that's crazy.
I'm in the cathedral. But
It's this little pocket of people and just these bit of pews.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Some
so
big
just all
noise.
this screaming. The bishop almost has a heart attack and falls out of the cathedra. And I'm just like, oh boy.
and that's how you started your priesthood.
And assignment
Look,
to
yeah,
St. Greg's.
yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Awesome. So we're going to be moving on to our main feature, but first, we have some announcements. I actually got my first Patreon sticker.
Yes.
It officially came in the
Yes.
mail
Yes.
after 3 months of faithful subscription.
Oh, yes.
$3 a month.
You put on the piano.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got this 2 to 3 inch little sticker, and it looks amazing. So that could be you. You could put that somewhere.
Yeah.
We have a Patreon context for our friends.
Awesome.
You
Thank
can
you.
also get a mug. You can
Get a
also
mug?
get a T-shirt.
Yeah.
So I might be going to your coffee mug very soon.
To your coffee mug.
That will be the
Coffee
plan.
mug.
I'm gonna get I got my subscription on the sticker for now, and it's gonna come in the mail soon.
Yep. All the way from
Here's the
California.
deal. We're being humble bragging. We want a subscription service. Anybody is interested?
Exactly.
You can either get a sticker, a mug, T-shirt. That's
Yeah, please.
your options.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
cool.
And with that, all right, we're going to go on to our topic, which is actually really exciting and special. Hint, hint, Christian vocation. All right. So, all right. Why don't you, Nicole, you go.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, what am I? My vocations are introducing this one.
No, not yours. Kristen's.
Okay.
I don't know how to introduce it.
All right, so we're just going to talk about this. Here we go. So, cool. Vocations. In the Catholic Church, we have a whole slew of vocations, and a vocation is a call in your life and how to serve the Lord. Priest is what everyone always thinks of. Everyone's like, priest, vocations. Y'all are important. I'm saying that you're not. But sometimes the church forgets to talk about females and women vocations. Okay? So, hi.
Hi.
Women in the Catholic Church cannot be priests, and we are okay with that. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Are you okay with that?
I prefer, not kidding. What I was supposed to say.
No.
Absolutely.
There's
Yeah,
a
I'm
lot of, like, reasons behind it, and we can go on that tangent if we want, but there is beautiful things that women can do in the church as vocations, and you can be religious, which is sisters, nuns. You can be a consecrated virgin as a woman, but you also can be single and married. So Kristen is currently, yes, I'm going to say discerning a vocation. When we say discerning, that means prayerfully thinking about. Segue, go Kristen.
Okay, yeah. So I am currently discerning religious life. I have been pretty seriously for a little.
You have no idea. I'm like your spiritual mother. She's my child from the Lord, but not really, because spiritualness. It makes me so proud. Oh, that she's open to this. Woo!
It's a real thing though.
I'm sorry.
It is a real thing, but that was just wow.
That was Nicole's finest moments.
That was wild.
Please
We love it though.
do not zoom up on that when you're
No.
editing this.
No. I just know that you've been in the
Oh, should
ever
I-
since you've been youth minister, you've been talking about.
I don't-
oh, it'd be so amazing.
So, okay,
Like-
I'm sorry. So,
That's awesome.
one of the things I've always prayed for, like in youth ministry, is that one of the kids that I have grown them, is that one of them becomes a sister and one of them becomes a priest. So, I'm no pressure, but I'm just saying it's pretty cool.
It is cool.
That's wicked. It's wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
So I've been seriously discerning for a little over 2 years at this point. I've visited a couple different orders, and I am currently, actually, in a little less than a month, I'll be going to Nashville, Tennessee to go on a 4-day retreat with the Dominican Sisters of St. Cecilia. And that will kind of potentially be my segue into applications and entrance.
Wow, there was a lot there. Let's kind of break that open if
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
So you said you were like, okay. You said you started 2 years ago. That's interesting. And when did you first start like thinking about the step of let's go visit a place? What were some of the places you visited too?
So
Like, back up and explain.
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Just everything.
Because there's a lot there.
There is a lot there. So
Ow.
you okay?
Sorry.
Nicole's okay, I hope.
Okay. Well, starting in August of 2021, trying to get all my days straight, I was going into my junior year of high school, and I was praying, and I was thinking about potential next steps, and all I really knew was college. I didn't really know anything different, and the Lord put on my heart to just think about giving myself to Him. And I was like, okay, first of all, what does that even mean?
Some clarification would be nice.
I was so confused. And I was like, if this means becoming a nun, no thank you. I cannot live in a cloister.
The 8-foot wall.
Please no.
God bless those who are called to
Yes, seriously, that is a beautiful vocation, just not me.
There's some beautiful cloisters that are, like they got like fields and farms and
10-foot walls. Sorry. To build a wall.
that. Oh,
It's gonna be huge.
Yeah, so... This is... Wow.
Sorry, Crystal.
Was this the fates from Hercules?
no.
Indoor plumbing is gonna be huge.
You lost me there. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. We're trying to be serious about her beautiful vocation. We're talking about walls.
I feel so bad. Just
No, I believe
Are you crying over there, little bit?
I mean,
Jesus,
yes.
God, man, you dude
All
has
right,
humor.
dude. So
He has humor.
you started to kind of like hear God say, "Come here."
Come.
Yeah, and it was, as I said, extremely confusing. I had no clue what a religious vocation was, nor what was really open, because, to be quite honest, there isn't much here where we live in Buffalo as far as women vocations go. Like, I know
A lot of our orders have
moved.
yeah, they've moved or they're kind of on the verge of kind of
Older.
coming to the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're older.
I've talked about this before on this podcast where like for women there is not in this diocese there's not really a representative to kind of help us figure out where to go. We have to kind of just find our own way.
And it was a good couple of months of me wrestling with this in prayer. I had no clue where to begin. I was dealing with a lot at this point, junior year of high school. Insane. On top of stuff going on with me medically, I was dealing with a pretty bad concussion at the time. And I was just stressed out of my mind. And then I had this big looming vocation over my head. And I was like, okay. So I really tried to just push it aside and like not think about it. And that was probably my first mistake.
Okay, if there's one thing for those who are listening, you got to know about Kristen is that she is a guru and a really amazing example of like people who are so involved in ministry, extremely, faithful, always stepping up and ready to serve and like praying and just so authentic. Like I'm so inspired every single time I see Kristen. So, all right, keep going.
Wow, okay, how am I supposed to follow up that?
I don't know your story.
And I'm just a proud spiritual mom. So
Okay,
there
yeah.
you go.
And I'm an outsider, but it's awesome.
And what are you?
Former parish priest and
Yeah, good job. Okay, go ahead.
So, and then December of, oh my goodness.
We're sorry. You're going to have so much fun editing.
I'm not going to edit a thing.
Okay, so...
Okay, what happened next?
So in December of that same year, so 2021, I was tasked with giving a talk at Life Teen, which is our high school youth ministry anchor program that we have every Sunday. The topic was discernment, and I was like, why me? Like, I don't know anything about this. And then our youth minister at the time, she was like, just talk about, like, discerning, like, the daily things and just touch on vocations briefly. Because I was only talking to 9th and 10th graders, so, like, talking about big V vocation wasn't necessarly a huge thing that needed to be done. Yes. There's the big V.
I was trying to put the elbows together, but it didn't work.
There's little V.
There's a big V.
No, I'm gonna go to little V, big V.
There you go. Yeah, you
Solid.
can tell I also work with middle schoolers. So I was like, okay, fine. I can talk about like discerning little things as far as like what to do in prayer. That's what I focused on. And then I remembered, she also said to look at religious vocations just as a whole. So it's like, okay, I guess I should probably like look up a couple orders of like women religious and religious life for men as well. And I found a couple different orders that really stuck out to me, which kind of made me realize, okay, maybe I can look at this. Like, this might be something I could do. But I still wasn't fully set.
It was like the starting.
It was like it was definitely like a starting point, as I definitely thought about it more in prayer, and I didn't as much push the thought away anymore. So yeah, that was just kind of like the start of it, and I don't know, where do you want me to go from there?
So then, okay, so you had the start of the percolating of the, I could do this maybe, cool.
Yeah.
How did you get from that starting, maybe percolating, I could do this, to like, yeah, I'm doing it?
Oh, okay, so this is a cool story. So
Story time.
it was February of 2022. We were having Fiat, and I happened to be serving that Fiat. I'm also an altar server. I think I failed to mention that earlier too.
What don't you do?
She has a hard time.
Live at St. Crux. Okay.
So I
Do you
was
fly when you pray?
no.
Do you levitate?
Got some work to do here.
I want to learn how to bilocate.
Padre Pio. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
That's I'm impressed.
That's a tough.
So we were serving, and with Fiat we do a Eucharistic procession where the priest takes the monstrance with Jesus and he processes around the church. And the way our church is built, we have a crying room with glass windows.
Stained glass, right?
No. The glass.
Oh, regular glass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can't see through stained glass.
Especially if it's
Moving
Munich
on.
style.
Okay, so I was kneeling in front of Jesus on the altar before we started the procession. I was like, okay, Lord, this whole vocation thing, like, I just need like a sign to just keep going, because at this point I was stuck. I had no clue what to do. I was praying about this and I felt like I was getting nowhere. So I was like, okay, Lord, I just need a sign, just one sign. So as we were approaching that window, the way we did Fiat was we would have a spotlight that followed Jesus as well. And that spotlight shone like just perfectly that I could see the monstrance totally visible in the window of the crying room as I'm facing the crying room. I'm not facing anywhere near the priest behind me because I'm leading the procession. And I was like just in awe of the beauty of it. And I was like, okay, Lord, I guess that this is my signal to start taking this seriously. It was just so beautiful. And it's hard to explain the impact that it had on me because it sounds so small. But to me, in that moment, it was the most amazing thing ever.
The Lord uses those little small moments.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, between all of us, like, it's always Eucharistic moments. Mm-hmm. It's so
Wait
cool.
a minute. You're so right.
You're not saying that the sacrament's not important? Of course it is.
The Eucharist is
Heck yeah,
the
man.
source and summit of everything.
Source
Boom,
and Summit.
So that was your like
That was my moment.
solidifying moment. So then
Yeah.
from that like so that moment told you like I'm gonna actually pursue this for real. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna actually look at this. So then what like because right now in your discernment you're pretty set on this.
Yeah.
Like you're like I'm probably gonna enter.
Yeah.
Okay. How'd you get to I'm probably gonna enter?
Okay, so 2 weeks after that Fiat,
2 weeks.
I began to start telling people, and I was scared out of my mind. I didn't know how people would react. I was worried that like my friends wouldn't want to continue to be friends with me because I was deciding to pursue this. But I told this one right here, and she,
Mama Goose.
yeah, pretty
You
much.
just called me a goose. That's all right. I will be a goose. any
Okay,
day.
yeah.
For the Lord.
So we were on. It was kind of funny. We were on the
Holy
topic
Spirit
of what.
guru over there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
the
love it.
wild goose.
We love it.
What were you talking about? What topic?
So-
How did this happen?
So we were talking about what I was gonna do post high school, and then I was like, "Hey, Nicole, I'm actually like kind of thinking about religious life." She freaks out, and I mean freaks out. Like,
Did I
If
end
you've
up on-
never seen Nicole have a freak out before,
I know I have.
like all these people in here know exactly what I mean when I say Nicole was freaking out.
was it one of those ones where she's like, and then it just, or
Yeah.
was it just one of the ones that was like,
A mix of both.
I think of the Elmo meme, the
She
explosion.
also like almost threw a chair. I'm not gonna lie, you did almost throw a chair.
At who?
No one.
Okay.
You just kind of ran into the cafe from the door. And then in walks another one of our core members, and he's like, what just happened? So I tell him as well, and he's all excited too. He just joins in with Nicole. It was Andy, by the way.
Andy.
Andy.
Good old Andy.
Who is now seminarian Andy.
Yes.
Sem and.
No.
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 Sorry, Andy. We love you. Okay. Listen, I don't want to sway you into a vocation, but I get excited when people figure this out.
No, I'm totally okay with it.
it's
I was
cool.
just like, okay, this is actually like something that people could see me doing as well. Like that also helped me.
That's
Which is an
true.
important part of
That is.
vocational discernment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
I literally knew in 6th grade. I was like, she could do it. But I waited. Till the Lord talked to you.
Oh, yes.
I have yet to tell you something later, Nicole. I'm kidding. I see you behind an 8-foot wall. The very highest
I literally
thickest
do not think
stone.
I'd survive in a cloister.
No.
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine me cloistered? Like for real?
You would run up the wall.
I
literally.
know!
Oh man.
Yeah. So those 2 moments, I knew that like people could see me doing this, and it really helped me. And at this point, I didn't even tell my parents yet. I think that was what I was most scared to do, was tell my parents. I'm the oldest. I have a younger sister, and I just didn't know like how I would tell them. So luckily, one of the orders that I was looking at, which happens to be the order that I am seriously discerning with, the Nashville Dominicans, they had this beautiful promotional video about the life of a sister in that order. And I was like, okay, I'm going to sit them down. I'm going to show them this video. So that's what I did. The next day, I sat them down and I was like, guys, I have a video to show you. I'm just going to put it on and I'm going to let you watch it. So I let them watch it. It was like 12 minutes of excruciating, not
Sweating?
excruciating pain. Yeah.
Like sweating in the
My
inside.
heart-
Like an
was-
anxiety thing.
Yeah, my heart was pounding, and I mean pounding. I was so nervous. So then the video ends, and I'm like, so, like, surprised I'm thinking about this. And, like, it just spiraled into this beautiful conversation about, like, how I've gotten to this point. And it was definitely another one of those moments where I could see that people knew that I could potentially do this, and they could see me doing it. And I think that meant a lot to me, coming from my parents and having 2 very supportive parents, because not a lot of people get that when it comes to vocations like that.
Right.
They get one parent that's totally on board, one that isn't, 2 that aren't. Like, I'm very blessed to have 2 totally on board parents.
Can I tell you a fun fact?
Sure.
Actually, everyone a fun fact. In my early 20s, I actually seriously was discerning religious life. Also.
Nice.
Fun fact of the day. I realized it wasn't my calling. I'm not called to it. But I told my parents. Mm-hmm. My parents are not practicing Catholics. I love them dearly. But they do not understand the concept of vocations. And so I understand that fear of like telling them. And especially for, I think, women in the church. Because our parents want us to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Right? Not in today's world we're fine, like we can work and be taken care of and stuff, but there's this instinct for daughters to be taken care of.
Right.
So my parents were very concerned that if I were to enter an order that I would not be taken care of.
Oh, heck no.
And that my life would be a waste. And all this other
Oh
stuff.
my gosh. It's
So,
so
like,
it's so true.
I get it.
Dude,
I get that statement.
Dude, it's so true.
And I get that fear, especially as a woman doing that, because you really are sacrificing a lot.
And it's not only men, or it's not only women, it's men too. I
Yeah.
mean, like, when I told my parents, now granted, I didn't tell my parents well. I called them like 11 o'clock at night right as they're going to sleep, and I'm like a college student, so I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking about this. And they're like,
Yep.
okay, we'll call and talk with you tomorrow. I don't think they slept a wink that night. Anyways, but I mean, like, it happens with them too. And I had that same fear and anxiety. The reason why I call them at 11 o'clock at night, because I've been thinking about it for a year, and someone, I'm like,
Yeah.
so I get you.
Yeah.
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 I think anytime,
No.
because in today's world, marriage is kind of like the ideal vocation. It's like what everyone kind of falls into.
You can almost call it with an asterisk sometimes.
Yeah, it's the safe vocation.
Yeah.
Safe. That saying, I want to be a sister, a nun, a brother, a monk, a priest, or whatever, consecrated virgin, I don't know, like whatever you want to be. It's really scary to tell the people closest to you.
Yeah.
How did your parents take it when you wanted to enter the seminary?
When I wanted to enter seminary, well, I don't really remember because it was like I started discerning when I was 7.
7?
Really early on. So
Wow.
it's kind of all in line with altar serving. So
Yeah.
I don't have an answer to that question. Although I will say, discerning out of seminary, that's
Oh, that was
similar
different.
conversation
That's
here.
hard. Yeah.
Very, very similar to what you guys are talking about.
I once had a priest when I was discerning entering. He said, entering's not the hard part. It's leaving the seminary. And what he meant by that was like finishing seminary and the transition into priesthood, or those who leave the seminary. That's probably harder than entering the seminary.
Yeah, because you can leave the seminary.
Yeah.
Like, and even,
So Michael and I were in the seminary together.
Right, yeah.
whoa.
Yeah, it was cool. Father Joe was very smart.
Get him on a tangent on anything theological and watch out. What
Well,
is the
it's-
motion that I do to him?
It's cool. I mean,
What?
it's like there are so many books which are so important, like in the liturgy, like the liturgical books, like the Missal and all this, and it's not necessarily this academic knowledge.
Yeah.
Father Joe is really good at that, and there aren't too many. I don't want to speak in generalizations, but he's very good at that,
Yeah.
which is really cool, really really cool.
Crushing it.
Thank you.
Crushing it.
But okay, back
to
to
Kristen.
the religious. But even if you were to enter order, I think you can leave up until final vows,
So
right?
yes, I have 8 years to discern within.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I enter, I will be what is considered a postulant, and that's a year of discernment and learning the charism of the Dominican sisters, because that's what I'm looking at.
What
Dominican
is the
order.
charism of the Dominican Sisters of Nashville?
So it is to basically learn and then give those things that you have learned to others. So they are a teaching order. A lot of them go into education, whether it's pre-K all the way up to college. Some of them even teach in seminaries.
Yo,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
So it's yes.
For the Lord.
For the Lord.
So it's that's what the first year is spent learning about the charism, learning what a life is as a sister, and then reception of habit happens. Get a new religious name. That's super cool, and then that's oh hold on, I gotta get
Nicole
this
just had this
right.
moment where like, I'm going to have to call her something that's not Kristen.
What do I do? What do I do? How do I do that?
You would call
By the
her
grace of God.
Sister Mary.
By the grace of God.
So you're gonna be like, what? Okay, all right.
Oh, no.
Well,
And when you write a letter to her, it'd be Sister. Do they have Mary in front of the name, or they just
No.
have the name? Okay,
So
so Sister.
it's-
Let's say the religious name that she and her superiors choose for her is Agnes. She would be Sister Agnes Filk, OP.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? What happens to your baptismal name? Do you still keep that?
So I mean, technically, it's still your name.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry. I'm going to jump.
This
in
is
here.
cool. I don't know, but
When I
Father
was
Joe
in the
knows.
seminary, we had a sister. She was a sister of mercy, Sister Mary Andrew Himes. Okay, and so seminarians and sisters have a very interesting relationship. And trust me, she was 79 at the time. She had been forming seminarians and priests for 30 years. This woman could whoop our butts if she needed to, and she didn't have to move a finger because we were just like,
roundhouse kick?
no.
That was great.
That would be a fun thing to see, Sister Mary Andrew. Anyways, so there was one time she had to pull out her license or something for something, and on her license it said Helen Himes. Oh, I'm sorry, Sister Mary Andrew. If you ever see this, I'm sorry that I just shared your baptismal name. I'm sorry. And anyways, and in this, we were just like, what? What? Sister Mary, what? It blew our minds.
Yeah.
You know.
All right.
So it's still kind of there.
Yeah.
All right.
I get you.
So, like,
No.
legally, you'd still be Kristen.
I believe so.
Okay.
I honestly don't
Well,
know.
how
Maybe
does it-
unless you would legally change your name. No, there's the thing. When you see like fine. When you see an obituary for a religious sister or a nun,
Yeah.
it says Sister. I would just stick with Agnes. So Sister Agnes such and such and the order's symbol behind it. Formerly, and their baptismal name.
Okay.
Daughter of such and such, and grew up here, joined this order, and da 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 da.
Okay.
Okay, but all right. I'm also your confirmation sponsor.
Yeah.
So is it like a
So she gets yet another name.
Yeah, I'm so lost.
Yeah, I get yet another
your
name.
sister name, and then there's that just disappears, and then there's the middle name that you were born with. Given at birth, and then there's the Conference Cecilia that you have taken on.
Yeah.
And then there's the last name.
Uh-huh. It's
So
a
you
lot of
can-
names.
So think about it. So she would be, I'm going to stick with Agnes, okay?
Okay.
Sister Agnes Kristen Cecilia Filk, comma,
Yeah.
OP.
Whatever her actual middle name is, too.
Yeah. Well, actually, so it's not just OP, it'd be like OP something.
OP
right?
is Order of Preachers, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
I think it's just OP.
Is it just OP?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Do I get like a trophy? No, that's bad. Like a badge or something as your confirmation sponsor?
Ooh, let's do this. Full names, including confirmation name. Let's do it right now. Sorry, I'm just jumping.
What?
We're gonna go into
So like
full
mine
name.
is
Oh, okay.
Father Joseph William Gregory Tobias.
William?
Yes.
Gregory.
Gregory is my confirmation name.
Okay.
Okay, Ryan.
Gregory the Great.
Ryan Michael Jonathan Walzak.
Kristen Elizabeth Cecilia Filk.
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
You should go.
Why?
Just go.
Michael Peter Leo, second.
Nicole Lynn Janicek. I don't have a confirmation name.
No. It's Nicole Lynn Nicole Janicek. Or if we really want it, Nicole Lynn Nicholas Janicek.
Should I tell the story?
Wait. I need to steal the floor really quick. So now that we've done names, now social securities.
No.
Never. I will roundhouse kick you.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I bet you it's already somewhere out there
Probably. Do I need to tell the story?
if you want to.
Apparently you want to.
Okay. Well, here's the deal, folks. So I don't have an official. You know what? The sass. I don't need this sass.
It's just funny.
Have you never experienced the Father Joe and I sass?
Well, it doesn't matter. It's funny.
Okay, great. So I never took a confirmation name. So when I got confirmed, I was at a very different stage of my life, faith-wise. Did not care about the faith, did not like God, didn't like Jesus, didn't like any of it. So out of kind of spite, because I'm cool, I went up to the bishop and he was like, because the bishop asks you what's your name, and you're supposed to give the confirmation name. And I go, Nicole. It's my name. And I got sealed with the name Nicole,
Nice.
which is my name.
I will say something funny. I said my name on accident, but I meant John.
This is why St. Greg's just makes labels.
John the Baptist is what I mean to say.
But the thing is, like, can you pick a confirmation name that's not after a saint?
Yes. Can't you name it after one of the virtues? It gets a little complicated, doesn't it?
Maybe, I mean, so the name is not actually a requirement of the sacrament. So it's kind of something that has just become a tradition that's been taken on, but you don't actually need a saint's name.
I kind of made a parallel. Isn't the Holy Spirit the idea of confirmation? So you choose a Holy Spirit name. You could almost kind of, you know.
Well, I mean, the reason why the whole taking on another name is a part of that, and it's just like the Pope takes on a new name or religious take on a new name, it's a symbol of taking on a new role or entering into a new part of life.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, did you visit any other orders or religious orders?
So, yes, I visited the Dominican Sisters of St. Cecilia, and I also visited the Dominican Sisters of Mary, Mother of the Eucharist in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And at that retreat, I realized, okay, the Dominican charism is 100% for me, just not this order.
And that's like okay. I think people, when they're discerning orders, especially for like religious and stuff, like it's actually very important to go to different ones because you have to figure out which ones work for you.
Yeah, and it was a little hard with my age, too. A lot of orders don't let women go on retreat until they're at least 18 for whatever reasons. And I was totally fine with that, so I was just going where I could. Nashville, they allowed women 17 and seniors in high school up. I went in September of my senior year, and then with Ann Arbor, with Mary Mother of the Eucharist, they accept girls 16 and juniors up, and I went in February of my senior year. Cool. Yeah.
So you're saying these are to enter, or these are just for like visiting?
These are just visiting.
Just visiting. Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
entering, it's different.
So what's the difference? I mean, they're all Dominicans, right?
Yeah.
So
it's a lot in how they live, whether it's how they take
Like their lifestyle.
their lifestyle,
Their lifestyle, the way that they pray, the devotionals maybe they
Yes.
have, stuff like that.
and
they probably have a different rule of life too. I would guess, yeah.
and just in general, when I was in Nashville, I definitely felt like a huge sense of peace and almost a longing to be there. And with Ann Arbor, granted this was a couple months after I was in Nashville, I didn't have that same feeling. And I was wrestling with this the whole retreat. I was like, God, I'm at this retreat currently. Why are you like bringing me back to Nashville? And it was an odd experience for me, to say the least. But I talked to one of the sisters there, and she was like, that we hear this a lot from women, especially with these two orders, because they're so similar. Actually, fun fact, the Dominican Sisters of Mary Mother of the Eucharist is a branch off from Nashville. They part of the Dominican charism is also to take and to also start new orders. So 4 women from the Nashville Dominicans were called to start a new order. So they started it in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Yeah.
I feel like that's actually common.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like that's-
it happens often. Yeah.
So they were like, especially with these two orders, this happens a lot. And it is totally okay to be drawn in a different direction, even if it's a direction that you're not currently in. Like, I'm not in Nashville right now. I'm in Michigan, but I was called to Nashville, and I knew I was at that moment.
Right.
And there's definitely like age stuff, right? So I think the one you want to enter, it's 18 is the youngest, right?
18 is the youngest,
enter.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Right.
And you have to graduate high school too, I think.
I have to graduate high school, yeah, which I already did.
so
but-
technically
Yeah, you're
you
good.
could have entered in July, but they were like,
They were like, because my birthday is in July, they were like, yeah, you need a year.
So sometimes what are they called? Vocation directors of
Yes.
like their orders?
Yes.
Give directions to you guys.
Yep.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, so I've been in close contact with the vocations director in Nashville, and we've had quite frequent conversations. Actually, I have a phone call coming up with her in the next week. And we have been in just very good communication, talking about where I'm at in my discernment, especially with also being a college student, living a life at home, being involved in the ministries I'm involved in. And it has been just such a great year so far. I could have gone this past year, like I could have entered in like August, but she was like, no, because of how young you are. Like I would have been 18 for like a month. She was like, let's give you a year. And then that got me to be able to go on the discernment retreat, which is their 4-day retreat, in a good time frame. Whereas if I did it last year, it would have felt kind of rushed.
Yeah.
Which is a very important thing. Do not rush discernment.
That's a good. So, your question from me.
Yeah.
What does it look like for you? Like living your life now. You shared some of our stuff, just involvement in the normal parish and stuff, but also like looking ahead to the potential of entering this coming summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does it look like for you as you're going through this phase? And I don't. You may not be able to answer that, but like. Some people are like, well, okay, so when you enter there, how does it look? Do you take stuff with you? What is that? And how are you living your life this year going through that?
So I don't really know what happens once I enter. I don't know like what I bring, if like I bring anything. But just looking at how I'm living my life now, I am taking advantage of every single thing I can here. Once I enter, I won't be home nearly as much. I get I think a visit before reception of habit, and then I'm there for I think 3 or 4 years. So I'm just like taking in as much as I can here, whether that's doing experiences here, just being with my friends, being at as much events as I can. And because I love the environment I've grown up in. I've grown up in such an amazing environment at St. Greg's. And we have a ton of events. And I know so many people, and it's been wonderful getting to know them at the various stages I've gotten to know them. So, like, going into some things as, like, okay, this is, like, my last year of doing these things is kind of a beautiful thing for me. I have been just super open to where the Lord has called me. And it's been a bit of an odd experience, to say the least, to think about, okay, like, this is my last this is my last that. But all in all, it's not totally my last, because I'll be back. I'll still see people. But, like, just taking advantage of being here while I can has just been a really fruitful experience for me. And when I take all these things to prayer, it's been a really good learning point, too.
So I want to preface this one, like, just because the religious vocation, specifically, for becoming a nun, is so unique, and the spirituality of it is so incredible. And I think I really just want to approach it with, like, if I could instill a sense of respect to anyone who, who's listening, because the relationship that God calls these people who are in religious life is a really incredible thing. And the spirituality there is really, really special. I mean, I just remember reading from a couple saints that inspire me, like whether it's St. Teresa of Avila with the interior castle, or whether it's St. Margaret Mary Alacoque, and all these people who have, like, amazing prayer lives. And it's such a unique relationship that they have with Jesus in that, and they make themselves available to God in a unique way for their entire lives. Where's the question? I mean, but one more thing I'd like to say is, especially to any, like, young adults, like, it's so easy for, I'll just say for myself, to listen to music. So much of the songs we listen to, praise and worship, kind of, there's glimpses of this, but yet it's like a passing thing. It's like, oh, I loved experiencing this relationship, just like maybe for a few minutes of my time, maybe inspired for a week or a year or something like that. But then it's gone. It's like, oh, okay, I'm not feeling this anymore. Whereas this is different. I mean, like, this is a vocation, and then you make it your life. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I was wondering if you could kind of, like, speak to, what does the prayer look like, and how is that different?
So, it's definitely something that has changed a lot. I guess to get into a little bit of background on me, when I was in middle school, I went through some kind of hard stuff. I was bullied for my faith, for my passion for music, and amid a couple other things that were going on in my life, in my family's life, and also the people that were around me, my friends. A lot of things were going on with them, and it was just a hard couple of years. And that 8th grade year, I was at an all-time low. And from just everything that was happening, from just getting constantly ridiculed for doing something that I loved, to the point of I almost quit music. I thought about it very seriously, of quitting. And when I started discerning religious life, this kind of came up of, like, okay, this is something that you tried to forget. Not so much forget, but just ignore.
Move on from it.
Yeah, I just tried to move on without so much acknowledging what happened. And the last year, I was on a retreat at Camp Turner in Allegheny, and we were having Eucharistic adoration. Always brought back to the Eucharist.
It's always the Eucharist.
The Eucharist, baby.
And I was just thinking about this call to vocation, and then all of a sudden God was like, remember this that happened, and, like, actually remember it. Mm-hmm. Don't, like, shy away from it. And I realized right in that moment how much pain I suffered through all that. And it took a lot from me what during that, I actually talked to Nicole after adoration, and I was like, Nicole, you were with me when all this happened. Like, I don't understand why it happened, but like, I know that this needs to change, and I can't dwell on this anymore.
We had a powwow.
We did.
Entered into my office.
It was
of
a good
chair.
powwow. It was a bench outside in the freezing cold. But
It was
fine.
cold.
It was fine.
It's so cold in Allegheny.
It was also like 9:00 at night, so pitch black, darkness.
Oh yeah, too.
Worth it.
But it was so worth it. And that progressed into a year of just trying to heal, and that altered my prayer life a lot. I was constantly giving my sufferings and healing, because healing not an easy process, especially when you bury things like that for so many years.
Healing can hurt sometimes.
Yes, definitely.
It can.
And this past April, it was another retreat at Camp Turner, and the whole theme of the retreat was always forward, seeing God amidst the suffering. And I was like, God, really?
Again. Again.
Like seriously? And oh my goodness, was that the most amazing retreat ever. I really took that retreat and thought about what happened. And Friday night, we actually had a beautiful healing service that Father Joe led. And it was the most beautiful thing ever. What did we even do? I don't even remember what we did.
It was so...
What did we even do?
I was standing in, like, the music corner. Like, I was doing music and watching this all happen. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, the healing on these children. I don't know. You did a bunch of prayer.
Was it healing
Was it
prayer?
confession?
I mean, I took from a healing book that Caitlin, the high school youth minister, had suggested and had found in prayer, and I was like, this is an awesome resource. I'm getting a copy for myself. And then I took that, and I don't think I could repeat what I said or did, because I kind of just took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
And Holy Spirit activated.
Quite literally, because every single teenager in that room was in tears.
Yeah, and then we ended with worship of Thanksgiving.
It was
right.
Yes, it was the most amazing thing, and we all sat down and talked for a couple minutes after, and we were like, "This is if this is a signal to what this whole retreat is going to be like." Because keep in mind, this was Friday night.
Day one.
It was day one. We were.
It'd been there for how many hours?
Like
What,
maybe
like 3?
maybe 2, 3.
Man,
Like
good stuff.
it was.
Wait, that was retreat. I was a guardian angel.
You
and
were?
beat up a demon.
Yes.
Yes.
You beat up Bob the demon.
I remember that.
Bob the demon.
I remember that being shared.
Yes.
That reel was funny.
Yep.
Yeah, it was.
I have no idea. Keep going.
I shared that. Well, Michael, I showed you that, and you're like, "What is she doing?" I'm like, "She's
beating up a demon."
I was Adam's guardian angel.
Do you remember I shared that? I showed you that. I'm like, "She's yelling." She's doing
Context.
Apparently, I don't remember.
It was a skit to get a point across about how to
Yes.
live a life of faith, and how we have also spiritual helpers and spiritual
Yes.
enemies.
Exactly.
And I was a
That makes
bystander, and I kept getting
I'm
whacked with a
so
pool
sorry.
noodle.
I just had to defend Adam, and Demon Bob was really aggressive.
Bob was really
So I
aggressive.
had to like whip out the pool noodle.
Which is really funny because Greg was he's not an aggressive person.
Greg was Demon Bob.
He really got into the character.
Really?
Yeah, I literally chased him around the room.
Don't we have this whole thing on video
Oh,
too?
we do.
yeah.
Oh, I have it in what do I have it in?
The
What is it called?
archives.
Thank you.
Yep.
The archives.
So this retreat continued on, and it was. I actually had to give a witness on this retreat about suffering. Like Caitlin was literally like, "Hey, Kristen, can you talk about your suffering?" And I'm like, "Excuse
No
me."
way.
Yeah.
Like what? I'm like, God,
Casually.
like seriously.
Casually dropped that one.
Because it was a part of the Life Team plan where they were
Sure,
like, have
sure.
a teen give a witness on their sufferings and how they found God in it. I was like yeah, I'm like, okay, God, you're cool. What?
Cool man, dude.
Cool God man, dude. And I really dove into this I talked about exactly what happened, and I've been avoiding the subject because I didn't really want to get too deep, but I guess I will explain what happened. So in 8th grade, there's a tradition at the school that I graduated from that all the 8th graders would do a May crowning in May to honor Mary. And one of the things that a lot of people look forward to from the music side of things is to sing a Ave Maria solo. And I was one of the people that got to sing one. And it was all great. Not fun and games, but it was great. I loved it. It was a good challenge for me, you know. I was getting ready to graduate 8th grade, going on to high school, doing like choral things, cool choral things. It was great. But as the date of the May crowning approached closer, I was starting to get a lot of slack from a lot of people about how I ended up with it. It wasn't any fault of my own. I was pretty much just told, hey, you want to do this? Because I was doing choir since I was in 5th grade. And some people were like, well, there should have been an audition process. And again, this was all out of my hands. This was just how our choir director decided to do things. And then during one of the rehearsals, I think it was like the week before the May crowning, our choir director actually had us all sing the Ave Marias in front of our class as we had our May crowning rehearsals. And a lot of people were laughing as I was singing mine, which really, really hurt me in the moment. But I didn't let it bother me because I knew I had to do this in a week. So I had to try to not let it bother me. But in the end, deep down, it really did. And then the day of the May crowning arrived, and I sang the song, and everything went really well. And then I heard someone behind my back saying, well, she didn't really do such a good job. She should just, like, go and die and not do this because she's putting too much effort into music. And that really, really hurt me. And I, again, common theme, just buried it down and didn't really think about it. But in the end, it affected me for years to come. Like I said earlier, I did think about quitting music because all of it just kind of surfaced and became something that was hard for me to do. And it took about 3 years for me to fully come back to music and do it with the passion that I had before all this happened. And with the grace of God, about a month and a half before the retreat, that was this past April, I got to sing the Ave Maria again.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It was a funeral, right?
It was a funeral, yeah. So not the most happy of...
But you did a really good job.
So was this the Schubert or the Bach?
So yeah, it was the Schubert.
Schubert. No.
So yeah,
God bless you.
God bless you.
it was not the most happy.
Sorry.
It was not the most happiest emphatic. Oh my gosh.
Not the happiest
It
situation.
was not the
but
happiest situation, but I was personally asked to sing it. I was personally asked to cantor this funeral because I knew the deceased daughter and
You okay?
her grandson I went to school with, and it was definitely.
We're gonna be celebrating
Okay.
another funeral.
No!
Dying in the corner over there.
Please no. No.
It was a beautiful moment when I was asked to do this, but deep down I was freaking out, and I was definitely freaking out.
You don't
Nicole
say.
witnessed it. Father Joe witnessed it. It was great. And that was kind of the theme of that one night. I was like, take deep breaths.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
So I got to sing it again, and I was just so happy, and it was like this huge weight was just lifted off my shoulders. And it was just so cool to experience all that before this retreat in April that I got to give a witness and actually give a full circle moment.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And I think this might be something to insert in here too.
Yeah.
You know, that you experienced healing by confronting that. Mm-hmm. You know, and that we have to do that. One, because healing is important for us, because the Lord wants us to be whole.
Yeah.
Never said. Oh, and the other point on this is that often in order to discern well what the Lord is calling us to, and to then be able to fully live in what the Lord is calling us to, we have to honestly look at ourselves and open ourselves up to those realities and those hurts, and then say, okay, Lord, I need your healing in order to be able to discern.
Right.
Because oftentimes those wounds can be an obstacle to good discernment.
Yes.
Right.
True that. Yeah.
True that. You don't want to have baggage.
Funny how we sang, I run to the Father. My heart needs a surgeon. My soul needs a friend.
So
Man.
I run to the Father again.
And again.
And again.
Discernment 101.
Boom.
Yeah.
How did that get deep? Okay.
Oh!
That was really deep.
No, it's true. You literally have to let the Lord in and heal you all your hurts so you can properly discern your life and how you can be with Him forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
I think this is a good spot.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was great.
Mary.
Hashtag
Our
Mary.
Lady of the Rosary.
Our Lady of the Rosary and vocations. High five.
All right. You want to close out our
Wait,
prayer?
as a Dominican, are you going to get like a rosary that you get to clink around? Yeah!
Yes.
Do you know the Dominican Rosary is a little bit like easier? I heard like they don't do all the certain prayers because they like go back a step.
Yes. So actually, I know I'm going on a tangent, even though you said you were just going to end this.
Yeah, no,
but
just go.
this is so cool.
Sorry.
So I just
Father Joe opened up a tangent.
So I just came back from the Dominican Rosary pilgrimage in Washington, D.C.
Awesome.
What?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it was a week ago at this point, and we actually prayed the Dominican Rosary. And yeah, it was 15 mysteries, so it was all of the mysteries except for the luminous mysteries, because those were established after this tradition was made. And yeah, they don't pray all the prayers. They pray the Our Father, the 10 Hail Marys, and then they do the oh my gosh, the Glory Be. Yes. I'm tired. And then they just go on to the next decade. So yeah, they don't pray the
Fatima prayer.
They're all about this
and the
quicking.
Jesus
They're all
prayer,
about like a little bit more of like quicker. Doesn't necessarily mean better, but it just makes it a little bit easier to just
more tangible for like spiritual thought.
Yeah.
But that's more what the rosary originally was, because the prayers keep on getting added to the rosary. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Chant it over.
Yeah.
On that note, shall we pray our Hail Holy Queen?
Absolutely.
Peace out to the world, because
Let's do it.
God is cool.
In the name of the Father,
Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Hail
Holy Queen, Mother of Mercy, our life, our sweetness, and our hope. To thee do we cry, poor banished children of Eve. To thee do we send up our sighs, mourning and weeping in this valley of tears. Turn then, most gracious Advocate, thine eyes of mercy towards us, and after this our exile, show unto us the blessed fruit of thy womb, Jesus. O clement, O loving, O sweet Virgin Mary,
pray for us,
O
Holy Mother of God,
that we may be made worthy of the promises of Christ.
Amen.
Amen.
Hey, Papa Jojo, can you bless?
I can't bless. The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
Almighty God bless you. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Amen.
Go in peace.
Thanks
be to God.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.